retard, retard, retard.
Hello, hello. Right, we just hear the engine spooling down. I've just spawned in here. How are you all doing? Let's see who's here. Philip, hello to you. Ralph, hey, nice to see you. Avenger, hello. Mark, hello, hello. Automarker. Wilkesters, Danny. Dr. Bilal, Ali, hello, good evening. Tupolev, hello. 777 Bob, hello to you. Leader Pilot, Airbus fan. Luke. Yeah, Danny, yeah. Yeah, me too, yeah. It's going to be interesting to see how that goes. Mark, thank you much for the overlay. Mark, can you confirm, is this really the weather in London right now? Good God. Freda, moin. Man. That's definitely not the weather that I had a couple of days ago here in London. Blimey. Hey Rob, how you doing? Boogie, nice to see you. McFly, hey, good evening. It's JD, hi. Right, yeah, so it's just starting to rain again. Interesting effect, right? It was dry a couple minutes ago, and now that rain band is kind of coming in again, another rain shower. Hey Yoda, lekker. East Midland weather in London. Yuck. Yeah, just had a nice shower coming in. Yeah, it was just dry a couple of minutes ago. What did I did nothing. I did nothing at all. Right, I hope everyone is fine. Thank you so much. Right, so let's see. We are flying on our first flight from Heathrow to Vagar. Right, that button is model. That's for the second flight. It's going to be interesting to see that high altitude button there. See how that goes. Alrighty, so FENIX, in case anybody is wondering, this is still the latest stable version, so 0.95. Developers are very busy right now trying to get the next update out. Don't know when that's going to happen, but yeah, we streamers have been told that we're not allowed to stream the test versions, only the stable ones at the moment, so for good reason. Yeah, that's true. Although, sorry, Danny, although I've just seen that we are going to get a high pressure area, and so apparently we are going to have lovely weather. So we'll see how that goes. As always, if you have questions, and I'm sure some of you have questions, make sure !ask. That way your questions are saved for me to answer at a later date, or at later time, not date, later time, in case I'm busy at the moment. Right. So, good database. Oh, and by the way, guys, let me just see. I just need to start my iPad. Hang on. So, AirPlay. I have been. I've got some news regarding new checklist and new briefing concept. So a lot of you have heard that a lot of airlines have started to adopt the new Airbus procedures, although they're not really, well, they are Airbus procedures. However, the real story behind it was that a lot of airlines got together and they did some brainstorming regarding briefing concept. So, you know, the briefing that I've been doing here, that was our concept at our airline for a long time now. But investigations have shown that these briefings are too extensive. They concentrate too much on SOPs, which should be, well, which should not be the case really, because SOPs are something every pilot has to know by heart, and there shouldn't be a focus on SOPs. The focus should be on threat and error management. And so the concept has changed. So what I've done over the weekend, or last, well, actually the weekend over my last tour, I actually went through the briefing concept and prepared something for myself, really, trying to get my focus on the most important things. And I've done my own notes on this. So departure briefing, arrival briefing, and threats, the briefing concept, etc., etc. So we're going to have a bit of time during cruise flight, I think, to talk about this. So this is one of the aspects. So the new briefing concept. Another aspect, obviously, is the new checklist. And again, the checklists have been worked on by different airlines, and so Airbus has listened to the airlines and pretty much taken all the good arguments and the good suggestions and put it into a new checklist format. So the weird thing for us is, or for me, is that we are actually going to have some additional checklists, while for other airlines, some of the checklists are actually taken away, or checklist points are taken away. So yeah, interesting. The change will happen for us mid-June. So yeah, I'm going to have to actually. I've got one more flight then. It's a night flight, Keflavik, and then after that, really, that's when we change, and the new checklist will come to the aircraft as well. So. And before that, I have holiday, so I'm on holiday now until the 14th, I think, or 13th, 12th. So yeah, so I've got to hit the books as well over the next couple of days to make sure that I get prepared. Well, you know what, Yoda? The biggest changes I would expect for the BA guys to be. I don't even know if BAs actually adopt these, because they have their own special procedures, haven't they? So I'm not sure if they're actually part of the whole program. Yeah, Danny. Well, the briefings I definitely like. We'll talk about that later. They've got some really good concepts there, which totally makes sense, and that's definitely an improvement. And regarding the checklist format, yes, as well, because there are new trigger points. So the checklists will be read at after certain triggers, and so these triggers are really good, and they're always there. So there's the risk of actually missing something is actually reduced. So definitely, I'm happy to see those. Even though it does mean a lot of work, obviously, for us to get those into our heads. Right, we are in Heathrow. I've just scrambled to get my other default Heathrow airport deselected, because there is a handcrafted Heathrow, and I've got the is it Iniscene? I think it's Iniscene, isn't it? Right, so I could. What was that? 747 back there? Looks like it, doesn't it? Hey, Lila Pilot. Hey, nice. You're joining the ranks of streamers. Yeah, it is exciting, isn't it? Right, what's this doing here? Well, that can't be right. I protest. Oh, maybe I diverted. Right, Eurowings. Yeah, that's okay. Oh, I love how they have this construction site, actually. Is that turning? Oh, it is. It's animated. Lol. Have I actually been here to Heathrow on stream in this scenery? I don't even know. Right, where's the A380 from Emirates? Where do I find it? I'm sure that's implemented, isn't it? Is it on the other side? Eagle Motion, no. So yeah, it's going to be a huge change. So the checklists, we have our checklist now in the EFB. So that's where it will be changed. So there will be software updates, obviously, and changes that way. Yeah. Right. So we got some questions coming in. Let me just go through those. Good evening. How was your flying? Hey, Bob. Flying was okay. Actually, I went to London quite often, and to be honest, I was surprised that we didn't really get many slots going into Heathrow. And we only had to fly holding once. So that was actually nice. So we actually had some really good on-time arrivals. And I was on YouTube twice, or 3 times. No, we actually 3 times were on YouTube. Live broadcast. Yeah, and I made 2 greasers. But I won't show that today. I will show that at a different time. I need to render those videos first. Yeah, fame. Fame, glory. Good times. All right. Also, any Windows 11 tweaking tips? I find no, so congrats on upgrading your computer, Bob. Any tweaks? I mean, I'm sure there are some, but I don't really know. Well, just off the top of my head, I don't know. Bob, maybe you can private message me, and maybe I can remember some of the points. Right, we've got 30 minutes, man. We gotta hurry up, man. I'm already blabbing away again. Direct ATERs. Go on. VATSIMators is online. Come on, give me VATSIMators, please. Hey, Aerofly, how you doing? I'm not sure why it doesn't give me the ATIS, because it is online. I can see it's information Oscar. Runway 27 right for arrival, departure 27 left. Transition flight level 75, surface wind 320 at 3. We've got 10 kilometers or more, cumulonimbus 3000 something, temperature 14, QNH 1012. And here we can see recent thunderstorm rain. Oh well. Are other aircraft types in the fleet having similar changes? Mark, yeah, well, the 350s, 340s are having changes, yeah. But not the Boeings, no, obviously. Do the other aircraft, other than the 320 family Oscar? Yes, Danny, yeah, they do. Yeah. Also being changed. Hey, Voyager, moin, wie geht's? Sebastian, hey, moin. Nico, hello to you. Is it a shame if I would join? No, why? Nico, all fine. You can join Ryanair, you can join any airline you like. I don't mind. In the FS Labs, the waypoint miles count down as in the nav display. It does, but in the FENIX, the mileage just stays the same as it was crossing the waypoint. I need to get my head around that question. See what you mean exactly. Let me go ATSU first of all. Got half an hour. AOC menu, flight in it. Ja, natürlich spreche ich Deutsch. Ja. I am German, so. Indeed. Oh, you mean for Vagar or for what airport do you mean? How come I can't press init here? Am I missing something? Yeah. So, ground services. Let's have a look here. Let's go and have cargoes open, aft stairs. Let's open that door. It's loading. Okay. Yeah, but normally that prompt is there, isn't it? Oh, now I pressed init again. Now it appeared. That is weird. Okay. Didn't see that before. Invalid flight plan uplink. Why is that? Excuse me? What on earth? Hang on. That's a valid flight plan, isn't it? Right. What is happening? Come on. Init request. Flight init. That's the right number. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Just checked it. Okay, well, I guess I have to type it in manually then. That's really strange. Oh, you mean from... Oh, hang on. A sim brief. Ah, let me just check something. Let me see if... No, it's 2205. No, it is current. That is current. Yeah. Alrighty, well, we'll have to manually implement that then, or insert that. So, Darcy's again. In the MCD, the FS Labs, the waypoint miles counts down as left display, but the FENIX departure stays the same. Okay. Well, Darcy, we'll have a look during the flight, shall we? What happens with the mileage. So, the alternate is Echo Golf Papa Foxtrot. And the flight number is Atlantic. Is it? Are they called? Hang on. Oops. Atlantic, or Faro? Faro line, isn't it? Faro line. Ah, okay. That may be the reason. Yeah. It doesn't take the. Yeah. Okay, I get it. Yeah, that could be the case. Hold on. Yeah, I'm already having delays here. Right, let me just check that here then. So, no, that's not it. Units. No, that's kilograms. No, that's the same. No, that's no. Those are the settings that I've had. Let me check again with the flight plan then. Or was the flight plan in pounds? No, that's kilograms as well. That is a bit strange. All right, it doesn't matter. We'll do that manually then. Just need to check my Sim Toolkit Pro version. So costs and X. Let's do the wind update. Wind request. Voyager, who's the scenery developer and where did you get it? Sim Market or Marketplace? I got it from IndyBuilds. I think it's IndyScenes, Heathrow. I got it from IndyScenes directly. And Vagar is MK Studios, and I got that from Sim Market. Costanex 23. Oh, let me just start boarding as well. God, it's raining again. Ugh. Hey, Kieron. Yes, doing well. How are you doing? Nice to see you. Ground services. Let's go. Let's mass and balance. So we're expecting 141. Let's load. I will do real time. Let's go. Alex, hello to you. How are you doing? So cruising level, cruising at 360. And the temperature up there is going to be minus 44. That seems pretty warm, actually. Temperature on the ground here is 12. Tropopause is in, oh, that's low, 25,000 feet. 25,000 feet. That's really low. That looks like a low pressure area right over the UK. Simone, at the moment I've got limited to 30, so I do have 30 because it's nice and smooth for me. That's always an indication that's definitely 30 at least. Expected 0 fuel weight. Do we get a message here? Atsu AOC menu. Yeah, that works. So we're expecting 58 tons, and the fuel is supposed to be 9.5. Refueling as well, so let's put 9.5 block fuel. The alternate fuel for Echo Golf Papa Foxtrot, which is it Glasgow? Can't remember that. Is it Glasgow or not? It is Glasgow, yeah. Glasgow is the alternate, and it requires a fuel of 2.6, so that's a pretty long way away, 2.6 tons. Right, got a bit of extra, obviously. Nico, the routing, I can give the routing, hang on. Routing is as follows. I do hope that's going to be correct. Umlaut. But that's a routing, I've never went up north there. But we'll see. Danny, by the way, can you test if you can open the bulk cargo door from the EFB if you don't... Oh, hang on. Well, I just did. Hang on. Let me just check. So... Ground services. So the bulk is open. Let's check that. Oh, you're right. It's not opening. No, you're correct. You're right. That's not open. Yeah, that is weird. Yep, you are definitely correct. That is not working, no. Let me just get rid of that EFB. Just need to check the telex here. Just make sure that it's not what I think it is. Hold on. Oh, hang on. That message. Welcome to ACARS. Please make sure your software is set to the poll not more than once per minute. Where do I set that? Yeah, Danny, I've not even seen that up to now. Interesting. I need to. I would assume the developers know of this, but maybe not. Yeah, it's indicating as open. That's really strange. So maybe it's just an animation thing, really, because it does show open here as well. Hey, Stepke, nice to see you. How you doing? Yeah, so that is a bit strange. Okay, let's check the charts. Hey, what's that? How you doing? Okay, you have not found the option either. Okay, interesting. So let's have a look at the routing itself. So pretty much over the UK to Vagar, and then we're back to Glasgow if anything goes wrong. Heathrow departing 27 left. So let me just go ahead and have a look at the taxiing chart, obviously. Airport chart. Now, since we are departing 27 left, I've put myself nicely on the right side of the airport. So that's cool. And one thing I'm surprised is that you don't see the stop names here, like Hawker, Saturn, and so on. But I guess that's on the taxiing chart then. Yeah, there we go. So Lockheed, Lowman, Hawker, and so on. All right, cool. So we'll leave that open. Then what else do we need? We need the departure. Now this thing, do we have umlaut? Yeah, we do. There we go. So we've actually have an umlaut 1 Golf departure. That's a conventional SID, climb straight ahead, intercept 297 degrees bearing towards Burnham, NDB, by 3 DME London, 27 DME London, turn right, intercept 356 bearing outbound, cross 8 miles London, which is here, between 3 and 6, and 10 above 4, max 6, and an umlaut at 6,000. Okay, that's interesting. Transition 6,000. Cool. So that is our departure route. Nice. Umlaut 1 Golf departure. Oh, it could be a livery thing. Okay, interesting. Yeah, that's the weird thing, isn't it? How many different reasons it can have. So, umlaut 1 Golf departure to umlaut. Then what we're going to do is go from umlaut. We need to program everything ourselves here. So that's going to be umlaut, and then the Tango 418. So Airways, Tango 418. Tango 420, and the changeover point is Welling. Correct. Then it's Uniform November 57. Changeover point is Trent. Then we go Uniform November 601. And that's going to be Papa Oscar Lima. Oh no. No, don't know why I did that. Trent, 420 Trent. Right, let's undo that again. Something went wrong there. So, umlaut again. Airways. Tango 418. It is. Tango 418. To Welling. Tango 420 Trent. Let's insert that real quickly. I don't know why it auto-sequenced that. That should not have happened. Uniform November 57. Papa Oscar Lima. Insert. Right, and from there, Papa Oscar Lima, it is Uniform November 601 to Trent. Teller, not Trent. 601 Tango Lima Alpha. And from there it's direct. Eagle Motion not very often, no, luckily. Although there are some routings. For some strange reason, the uplink sometimes doesn't work correctly. So I'll show you the trick that I've shown a couple of times here. So that you can make sure that you do have the correct routing inserted, or uplinked, that is. So, Tango Lima Alpha, direct Bamra, direct Pemos, and then it is Golf 3 Mike Yankee. And from there we're going to start the approach. Golf 3. What? Lord, hang on. Golf 3 from Pemos, yeah. Why is that a mismatch? Golf 3. Doesn't like it. Hey Motosuba, how are you doing? Nice to see you. Boy, I'm seeing some messages being deleted. Some of the new visitors not behaving, or what's happening? Yeah, for some reason. Yeah, it's Golf 11. I don't know why. Why the flight plan shows for me as Golf 3. I can show you guys. So, if I go to my flight plan. So it says Golf 3 for some reason. That's really weird. So it should be Golf 11. Interesting. Golf 11 to Mike Yankee. Right, and from there we'll start the approach. So we're going to do weather right now is 130 at 8 in Vagar. So 130 at 8 arrival. Hey, Grüße nach Wien. Wie geht's? So localizer 1-2 it is. And approach via Mike Yankee. So that flight plan should now be closed. Yeah, that looks good. So init A page, init B page. Still fueling, I hope? Nope. Wow, I don't know why it says minus 600 kilograms. Let's have a look at the overall distance. Overall distance should be 735. 735, and you can see here it has 748, so it's only 13 miles off. So that should be fine. Mike Yankee. No. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah, but maybe, you know what? Maybe that has actually then caused the issue with the uplink or something. So we're arriving with 3.3, and our min diversion, yes, is 3.6. But I guess we don't have. What about wind data? Do we have wind data? We do. No, wind data is inserted as well. Okay. Well, we know that the fuel flow here is a little bit less anyway, so I don't have an issue with that. Yeah, it must be a sim brief issue. Yeah, I haven't seen that either. No. Good. So the route is inserted. So now what I do in real life is as follows. So we go to data, second page on pilot routes. Press store the active flight plan, and then you can see that format here. It pretty much gives you exactly that format you need for the to compare it with the flight plan. So from Umlaut, it's Tango 418 Velin, then Tango 420 Trent, then Uniform November 57 to, I think it's Pole Hill, Uniform November 601 Tango Lima Alpha Tala, that's near Edinburgh, and then direct Bamra, direct Pemos, and then we go on. I normally would have Golf 11 to Mike Yankee as well. Cool. So that's correctly. The approach to Katana looks nice. Yeah, I need to check that as well at some point. Good.
Welcome aboard the Captain Black Box YouTube channel subscriber experience.
Could
new subscribers please make their way to the first class cabin where complimentary drinks, snacks and premium flight entertainment will be served. Thank you.
Reddersat, ich hoffe es geht euch gut. Vielen, vielen Dank. 5 Monate. Hi, I hope you're well. Yes, I am. Viel Spaß heute Abend. Dankeschön, dir auch. Dir auch. Aber du streamst morgen, ne? I think it's streaming tomorrow, not today. So, init A page, init B page, flight plan page, RATNAV for departure. So we need London. And we need Bravo uniform Romeo. I'm going to put that on the right hand side. So that way, I'm just going to put this to ADF here. Correctly identified. Inverness, okay. Good, RATNAV. So, diffrips, DEFR. Performance. So let's see what we can get out of performance here regarding right. Oh, we still need 35 passengers to be boarded. But we're getting there. We're slowly getting there. So that means actually let's just start the APU. Yeah, the weather is horrible, yeah. But they did say they've got thunderstorm rain from time to time, so definitely not too nice. So that's fine, good. Alrighty, so let's go performance then. Departure performance. Let's go and preliminary load sheet syncing up. So we've got 68.3. Let me put that to 68.5. Just to add a little bit of buffer. We've got 12 degrees, so anti-ice not required. Packs off, actually packs on. And let's sync the weather. 1012, 290 at 5. 1012 seems correct, 14 degrees. We do want intersection. So what I want to do for runway 27 left, that is, I want to do, I think November 3 makes sense. Yeah, let's do November 3. Hey Hendrik, guten Abend. And Gregor, guten Abend. Gregor, I got your message yesterday. Sorry for not replying sooner. I need to investigate, what's happening there. Oh, actually, no, runway wet. Disregard. Runway's wet. Recalculate that. Nice, Gregor. So how many days off are you going to have then? So we got shift 400 meters, 60-degree flex, flaps 1, and that's the speeds. Yeah, looks all right to me. So let's put that in. So 400 meters shift. Flaps 1, departure 60 degrees. I'm going to put 6-1 here so that we don't have that flashing scale on the PFD. Engine out's pretty much going to be 1600, pretty sure of that. It's going to be NADP 2. So the speeds 141, 152, 154. So the reason for the larger spread between V1 and VR is because of the wet runway. So that you have a bit more stop margin. Yeah, I'm not sure. So there is an approach controller here. Heathrow director. I need to check whether or not he's responsible for us. Let me just check that. VATSIM UK. So if you go to VATSIM UK website, you do get some information regarding the sectors. So always contact local ATC. So delivery ground tower approach where it is online. In absence of local ATC, our sectors provide a top-down service at airfields contained within the sectors they are controlling. You should request clearance pushback taxi as you would if there were an aerodrome controller. So let's have a look for London, Heathrow. What frequency do we have? We've got 19725. Well, it's not on the list here, but we'll see. Hey, Sapphire. Hey, Don, welcome. How you doing? Don, are you flying the FENIX as well, or what aircraft do you love to fly here in The Sims? So we've pretty much done everything in the FMS. So we've done the performance secondary flight plan, copy active. We'll do a quick return in case anything goes wrong. Oh, I need to set random failures, don't I? So the arrival will be 27 right, no start, and no via. There we go. So that's our return plan. For the infos, airport infos, let's have a look. So we've got Heathrow, 27 left, 1600 engine out, 270 to 25 miles, and hold. And we've got ADP 1090, 1090. That's good to hear, Don. I'm glad you're enjoying it. So 1090. 1090, 1090, 1600. And the last thing to do now is to set a straight line. So Echo Golf Lima Lima, 27 left, 270 degrees, 25 miles. Cool. There we are. So now we've pretty much finished everything. So that's all set. That's above. That is on. That's on standby. That's good. And the clearance should be 19,725. I can never hit that click spot for the. There.
Alpha Kilo, turn right now. Turn right now, heading to 80 degrees. When localizer established from 27 right, 10 on the glide path.
Turn right to 80 degrees when establishment now. Localizer from the glide, Golf Alpha Kilo.
And Golf Alpha Kilo, you may descend to altitude to 4,000 feet.
I'm down to 4,000 to Golf Alpha Kilo.
Lufthansa 410 ready taxi. Lufthansa 410 taxi. Actually, are you able to November Bravo 3?
Negative, if we could get full length, that'd be appreciated. Lufthansa
410, Roger, taxi first left onto Bravo, then link to 8 to hold.
Don, I'll get to that question in a minute. Hang on.
First left Bravo, link to 8.
You've got your clearance already? Alright. Alright. Now, let me just check my call sign again. So, Atlantic Airways call sign. Because I always get confused. Faro line.
During 47 Delta, ready for push and start.
327 right, clear to left.
Runway 327 right, clear to land, city 174.
Heathrow Director, good afternoon. From Faro Lines 711, information Oscar, request clearance when available.
Airline 711 Heathrow, hello. Cleared to Vagar. That's one Golf departure, squawk 5475.
Fairline 71 is cleared to Vagar. Umlaut 1 Golf departure, squawk 5475.
Airline 711, read back correct.
Nice, cool. Hey, Aviator, nice to see you. Right, so we got the right expected departure route. Boarding is complete, fantastic. That means we should get our final load sheet.
Golf Alpha Kilo, reduce correction speed 180 knots or less.
180 knots or less.
That's all closing. Oh, look at that beauty.
Right, heading 080 degrees.
And the weather is clearing up a bit. Cool.
QNH 1012.
So let's get the APU bleed on. That off.
762, turn right, heading
That.
080 degrees, descent to altitude 4,000 feet, QNH 1012.
Yeah, I don't know why it got some model issues. Yeah.
080 degrees, descent to 4,000 feet, EGLL 762.
Good, A320. Wingtip fences, no technical issues, although that reminds me.
Well, that timing was funny. Like, sorry,
Just accept the final load sheet. So 57.9 with a CG of 30.3.
And Shuttle 8 Lima, nothing further, Unicom, bye-bye.
Over to Unicom, Shuttle 8 Lima, thank you for your help today.
Right, and the CG is 27.9, which is about, looks like 0.
Via the Brookmans Park 7 Golf departure, squawk 0731.
Yeah, Airbus fan, they are working on it. The reason why it is going to take some time is because they need to implement their own engine model. Are the fonts on the FENIX accurate? Not completely, Aviator, no. But or if they want to change that, that would take a long time as well.
Scandinavian 827, taxi first, right, hold Bravo 3.
So let's recalculate that real quickly. Final values.
Sorry, hold November Bravo 3.
62 flex now, okay. 67.2, so 62 flex, 40, 51, 53, and up 0.1. So 62.
Transfer approved, facing east during 47 Delta.
Oh.
762, turn left, heading 360 degrees.
Left to 360 degrees,
Shift 4 meters is the same. 140, 151, 153. So small changes there. And 67.2 is correct. Alrighty, so ordered fuel of 6.5 tons symmetrically supplied, and well, ignore that for now. We should have an extra of about. Hey Seppi, how you doing? We should have a little bit extra fuel, sort of according to the flight plan, about 15 minutes extra. Fuel flow average 2.6 almost, so that looks good. Departure route is the Umlaut 1 Golf departure up 6,000 feet. The only thing I want to check now quickly is the restrictions. So that's the 3 miles. That's the 6 miles. Right, it's missing those block altitudes, isn't it? Hang on. Bravo Uniform Romeo. No, disregard. This is the first restriction. Disregard. So that's the 8 miles. That's a 10 and that's wing nuts. Yeah. Alright, so that's all correct. We're going up 6,000 feet. Set. Performance intersection is November 4. We've sorry, November 3.
Approaching Bovington, and we're having all sorts of problems with turbulence.
Yeah, November 3 intersection, 400 meter shift. And so the flex 62, flaps 1, speeds 40, 51, 53, transition 6,000, and the DP2 engine out 1600. KZF engine failure after V1 continues straight out 270 degrees. And acceleration is going to be 1600. Cleanup once the engine is secured.
174, did you please continue taxiing as you were currently blocking the exit?
Okay, Mark, I just read your message there. FMS reset. Okay, thank you, Mark. Yeah, you're right. There was something about that, wasn't it? Okay, cool. What else? So Mark is saying what you should do is press this button under maintenance if you have init issues. No, so this is the ini builds. The ini builds London Heathrow. Good. B4 start checklist. Cockpit prep completed. Signs are on and auto. Fuel quantity 9,460 kilograms. Altimeters 1012 at 80 feet. Check 3 times. Below the line. Windows doors
Clear for
closed.
takeoff, runway 27 left, Scandinavian
Closed.
827.
Closed. Beacon is on. Thrust levers idle.
We'll line up on way 27 left and we'll caution
And the parking brake is on. So let's go get the pushback. Let's do it this way. We'll do that via the app, actually.
And leave Lambourne heading 275.
Leave Lambourne heading 275. Speedbird 311.
You're 3 Alpha Mike, you have approximately 25 track marks, runway 27 right, descent to altitude 4,000 feet, Heathrow to
Scanny, what do you mean where do you get the 400? The app here gets you that shift. That's quite handy here.
13 Charlie, confirm you're holding at Bovington?
Attempting to, sir. 13 Charlie.
13 Charlie, Roger. Stop. Set flight level 100, please. And our DC vector for now, turn right, heading 310 degrees.
Right heading 310
Oh.
and descent 100, shuttle 13 Charlie.
That doesn't sound good.
Seaway 3 Alpha Mike, turn left heading 120 degrees. Seaway 3 Alpha Mike, turn left heading 120 degrees.
Jesus Christ, that scared me. Don't do that.
2905 knots, 27 left.
Now that's how pros do it. Well, he's getting really busy now, so we still don't have
Passing
ground.
4,800, Scandinavian 827.
Scandinavian 827, thank you, climb flight level 150.
Mark,
Climb flight
come on.
level 50, Scandinavian 827.
Scandinavian 827, exit 150.
Heading 150, Scandinavian 827.
Director from Airline 7, we're on stand 223 A320 QNH 1012. Request push and start, please.
Blocked.
Oh, for crying out loud.
Scandinavian 827, disregard the heading, maintain no navigation, climb flight level 150.
Hey, Kontas.
Disregard previous heading, climb 150, Scandinavian 827.
Egypt 762, come runway.
It's a shame that they don't have another controller here at Heathrow right now. And Director, if you have time for Airline 711.
Please stand by. I'm handling aircraft in the air first and then on the ground. Zero 311, descent to altitude 4,000 feet on the Heathrow H1012. We have approximately 25 track miles for only 27 miles.
4,000 feet, change 1012 to 031.
Zero 311, turn left heading 140.
Left heading 140.
If you're good afternoon, speakers at 9053
Hey, Max, how you
flight
doing?
number 70 inbound, begin on the transition.
Lima 953 Lima, hello. You may continue descent to altitude 6,000 feet for now, QNH 1012.
Continue descent flight 6000, QNH 1012, speakers 953 Lima.
Lima 953 Lima, fly heading 275.
Yeah.
275 degrees, speakers 95 Lima.
Lufthansa 410, reporting passing altitude.
Passing 3,500 feet, Lufthansa 40.
Lufthansa 410, thank you. Correction, climb flight level, sorry, I forgot, flight level 180.
Yeah, doing good. Thanks for asking.
18040.
Call sign Warlord requesting for northwestern VFR departure.
Zero 3 Alpha Mike, turn right heading to 40 degrees, and localizer established for 27 right, descent on the glide path.
Turn right to 40 degrees, when established to the glide path 3 Alpha Mike.
Ring 47 Delta, when able we are ready to taxi.
Zero wings 47 Delta, taxi, well, okay, sorry, let's start again. Taxi via Bravo, right Lima, hold November Bravo 3.
Taxi via Bravo, right on Lima, then November and Bravo 3 for Ring 47 Delta.
It's right on Lima, then hold November Bravo 3.
Okay, right on
Let's pull
Lima,
some
then hold
CVs,
November
yeah.
Bravo 3 for Ring 47 Delta.
Sierra 1032, taxi right, Sierra hold Sierra 1. Zero 311, turn right heading 120.
Right, this is one of those moments where I'm like, you know, is it really such a good idea to have one controller and actually doing top down?
Descent to altitude 3,000 feet further on the glide.
So maybe it makes sense to say aircraft on the ground, you know, push back yourself, taxi to the runway,
Right 090, speakers.
and when ready for
95 degrees.
takeoff, then
Can the Avian 827, I think 30, Unicom.
and then contact the controller.
Thank you for your service, Unicom, scanning Avian 827.
Lufthansa 410, nothing further, Unicom, bye-bye.
Unicom 127 late, Lufthansa 40, thanks for help here.
Shuttle 13 Charlie, are you stable by now?
We're flying right back into the storm cell, so we'd appreciate turning back. 13 Charlie.
013 Charlie, roger, turn left heading 180 degrees now.
Turn left heading
Welcome
180,
aboard the Captain Black Box YouTube channel subscriber experience. Could new subscribers please make their way to the first class cabin where complimentary drinks, snacks and premium flight entertainment will be served. Thank you.
Right 300, people,
Call sign Warlord requesting for northwestern VFR departure.
Hey,
Warlord,
Tenor.
I'm afraid I'm unable to cater for that at this point. I'm doing top down with a bit more traffic than usual, so I'm very sorry about that. Not a problem, not a problem. I'll just find a different airport. Have a great rest of your day. Same for you, bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Right, well this means I'm going to push back myself, so
Heathrow direct to Speedbird 808.
so sort this.
Speedbird 808, I don't...
Tenor, thank you so much for your support. Thanks for becoming a member.
Roger, okay. When you're able to take a request for clearance? I will be in a moment, I'll call you back when I'm ready. Roger, thank you. Speedbird 808. You're in 47 Delta from November Bravo 3, 2905 knots, lead 27 up to takeoff.
I'm sorry, was this for Ring 47 Delta?
Hey, sir.
Tenor, how are you doing?
Okay, clear for takeoff from a 27 left. During 47 Delta.
And Faroe Island 711, sorry for the delay there. Push and start approved, face east.
Push start, approved, face east. Thank you, Fairland 711.
953 Lima, descent 12 to 5,000 feet.
Descent 5,000 feet, but near 5 Lima.
2 Alpha Mike, 72903 knots. Shuttle 13 Charlie, descent flight level 90.
No, my patience has limits.
Descent flight level 90, shuttle 13 Charlie.
2 start.
Fever 311, descent 12 to 3,000 feet. Right localizer established, only 27 right descent on the glide path.
3,000 feet and man established, descend on the glide path, 3,000. Heathrow directed to Heathrow 300, with you on the rock, descended to the rock for 1 hotel arrival, runway 279.
2300, flying now, heading 070 degrees, descent to altitude 5,000 feet, feature to an H1013.
Heading 070, descend and maintain 5,000 feet, QNH 1013, correct?
Correct. Cuba 953 Lima, turn left heading 300 degrees, descent altitude 4,000 feet.
No, I can definitely say he's
left 300 degrees, descent
completely
4,000
sober.
feet, 953 Lima.
Shuttle 13 Charlie, turn left heading 110 degrees.
Left heading 110, we just hit another massive turbulence.
Ooh.
Shuttle 13 Charlie, Roger.
I hope it's not in Microsoft.
Level 80.
God, that's scary. If that really is in Microsoft. Oh boy.
Egypt 762, thank you for your patience there. Continue taxi on Bravo, right Lima, stand 244.
Right, Lima, stand 244.
Right, that's the
Thank you.
start procedure complete. Both engines running. After start flows.
So take any stand at this point.
Roger, thank you.
KLM 1032, runway 27 right. Question 27 left, line please.
So that's good.
Runway 27 left,
A little bit trim up.
47 Delta, report your path.
And flight control check.
During 47 Delta, passing 4,000.
Yeah, right.
Delivering 47 Delta, thank you. Flying
What now?
light level.
Full down. Full left.
Sorry, still learning these. Climb flight
Full
level
right.
40.
Neutral. And the rudder full left.
Flight level 140.
Full right. Neutral. After set
47
checklist,
Delta.
we've got the anti-ice off.
2311 reduce.
Ecom status checked, and the trim is at 20. Oops.
0953 Lima.
20.
When localizer established, runway 27 right, descend on the back path.
Descent 3000 when established, descend with the glide speed at 95 Lima.
Let's check quickly.
KLM
The trim is at 28% set 0.
Shuttle 13 Charlie, turn left heading 090 degrees.
So,
left heading 090, shuttle 13 Charlie.
And shuttle 13 Charlie, descent 12 feet. Oh, question. Descent 12 feet, 5,000 feet to an H1013.
Descent 5,000 feet, 1013.
Speed 300, descent 12 feet, 4,000 feet.
4,000 feet, people 300.
Fairline 7 on request taxi.
Faroe Island 711. Wow, sorry. Faroe Island 711 taxi via Bravo Link. Question. Taxi via Bravo Lima, hold November Bravo 3.
Bravo Lima, hold November Bravo 3, Fairline 71. Thank you. There we go.
Hello, Stewart 783.
So it's just straight ahead up to Lima.
Level 70 inbound Faber. Information Papa, KNH1012. It's May 390.
Stewart 783, hello. Thank you for calling early. Information Quebec now.
Brake check.
Flight level 90 by La Four.
We'll get information Quebec down to 90. Stewart 783.
Actually, Stewart 783, because of the Heathrow QNH, changed descent flight level 8 or level by La Four.
Level 80, level lap 4. Stewart 783.
at 300, turn left heading 300 degrees, then localize your established descent on the glide path, 279.
Roger, left 300 degrees, when established, localize on 279.
Shuttle 13 Charlie, I'm gonna back you around a bit because you're still too high. Turn left heading 020 degrees.
Left 020, shuttle 13 Charlie.
KLM 1032, report your passing altitude.
So, Lima. And then November Bravo 3. So November Bravo 3 is the holding point, while November 3 is pretty much Cat 2 holding point. And real life, what you normally get is hold Locky, for example. So Texfair Bravo, hold Locky, and then there you would,
122.8 for your ring 47.
you would be told monitor tower. So we're going to continue Lima and hold November Bravo 3, and that's the holding point for the runway. B4 takeoff checklist. Flight controls check. Flaps 1 plus F. 27 left from the November Bravo 3, clear takeoff. Fairline 711. So speeds flex 140, 151, 153, flex 62. EKVG takeoff no blue.
Right heading 200.
Below the line, takeoff runway 27 left, November Bravo 3, packs are on engines before takeoff checklist completed. So left side clear. Are we ready? Let's go. Take off. Manflex 62 SAS runway, out of thrust blue. Takeoff thrust set.
Clear to land 27 right, we've got 95 Lima.
100 knots. V1. Rotate. Oh, that's a bit laggy here. Pause the climb. Gear up. Nah. So thrust climb, climb outboard auto thrust. One of the sceneries, one of the very few sceneries, where you do get less than 30 FPS. And any simulator, doesn't matter if you're using P3D. So, flap 0, speed checked. Flap 0. Oh, TCAS, good lord.
Shadow 13 Charlie, descent 12 to 4,000 feet, turn right, heading 240 degrees.
Autopilot 1.
Descent 4,000, turn right, heading 240 degrees, 13 Charlie. 110. F-Naught 4671 board, descent flight level 80, level by beacon.
Now that's how pros do.
13 Charlie, continue to descend up 16,000 feet, then localizer established from 837 right, descent on the glide path.
You get 10.
So we've actually just captured the glide slope for some reason. I don't know where we've got damage.
So
to
speed.
The autopilot, but
Vertical speed. Oh god, he's not having a good day today, is he?
13 Charlie, if autopilot doesn't work, fly manually, please.
Yes. Well said.
Far Island.
Well said.
Report your passing altitude.
Fairline 7 on is passing 5,600 feet.
Faroe Island 711, thank you. Climb flight level 140.
Climb flight level 140, Faroe Island 711.
0300, send us wind 300.
So first climb, open climb. So we're climbing now 140.
Company West Switzerland, 300, thank you.
Shuttle 13 Charlie, are you able to make the glide slow?
Standard.
So again, so 13 Charlie?
Set.
Shuttle 13 Charlie, are you able to capture the glide slope?
We'll request visual from here, sir.
Oh god.
Right, Shuttle 13 Charlie, you're way too high. You're about 2,000 feet too high. I'm going to read back to you. Turn right heading 080 degrees. Maintain.
He's not having a good day, no.
3,000
Definitely not.
13 Charlie, we're on the glide slope at this point, sir.
Shuttle 13 Charlie, Roger.
Well,
that was an incredible descent. Continue approach to 27 right.
Lol. He's a good control there.
Continue approach 27 right, 13 Charlie.
It would help if
like
if he would cancel that whaler from the autopilot.
Heathrow director, speedbird 95 Lima, vacated 27 right, holding on Alpha.
I can just imagine his stress level is like extremely high.
Sorry, station, keeps calling.
Speedbird 95 Lima, vacated 27 right, holding on Alpha.
Right, 10,000 feet.
Taxi 1953 Lima, thank you. Taxi via Alpha, stand 518.
Right.
Taxi Alpha, stand 518, speedbird 953 Lima.
2-3 Alpha, Mike, your stand has been taken. Continue for 421.
I'm just gonna go select. I mean, he's a descent. He's no factor for. Oh, actually, he's a climb as well. So I'm just gonna climb up a bit faster. Make sure I don't get in conflict with him.
Seaward 783, leave Lambourne heading to 70 degrees.
We'll leave Lambourne heading to 70.
He's in descent.
The Seaward 783, speed 220.
We're at 220, speed 783.
Right, managed speed again.
France 4671 again. Can we consider the average as fine on the clock?
So we're just going to clear out these things right now.
Heathrow, good day. This is your link to it. Airbus A319 inbound Logan. Passing flight level 25.
Your link 24 Juliet, hello. Information Quebec, descent flight level 80 by Lambourne.
Descent flight level 80 by Lambourne. Check
It is busy, good lord. 1,000 feet to go.
Sorry, France 4671, descent altitude 4,000 feet.
I wonder what that scope looks like out star. That radar scope looks like. Hey Yaroslav, how you doing?
Heathrow director, shuttle 13 Charlie, requesting clearance land.
Shuttle 13 Charlie, runway just navigated to the wind 300 degrees 5 knots, clear to land.
Thank you, clear to land, shuttle 13 Charlie, thank you, sir.
He was so stressed out there. Good lord. Oh yeah, the FMS. Hang on.
Thanks for flying, bye.
Speedbird 300 on taxiway to 705.
Spirit 300, you may continue taxi via Bravo Charlie.
That's an interesting point, yeah. They should count down.
Bravo Charlie 545, Speedbird 300.
I mean, that does count down, but these don't count down. That's weird. Yeah, that's what you mean, right? So this should be counting down as well, in line with that.
Heading 080 degrees. Actually, all stations on the ground. Tower just logged on. He's my savior. 118.5.
He's like, oh, thank God for that.
You. 1185, Speedbird 80.
Big sigh of relief there from the controller. Blimey. Oh, there he is. I was wondering where that traffic is.
Faroe Island 711, I think I forgot to hand you off to Unicom. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for the service. Awesome job. Fair Line 7. Oh, no, bye-bye. Right. Cool.
Air France 4671 for now, keep the speed at 220 knots for free.
Right, let's continue climb then. We filed 360, so let's do this. Yeah, it should be. I will check that, Darcy. Yeah, could be. But then again, Darcy, you know, they may say it's an older version, software version here for the FMS. But to be honest, I know someone who will probably know this off by heart. Goes by the name of Bruno. Yeah, Darcy. Yeah, send them a ticket. Let me know what they are replying, please. So, let's send to that around there. There's Birmingham. Now, this place, I forgot the name again. What's the name again? Peterborough, Leicester. There's an airport somewhere around here. Yeah, I keep forgetting the name of it. Is it airline, aircraft? How many fixed pages to have? Yeah, that's depends on the software. I know that they had 2 EMA. Yeah, that rings a bell. Yeah, it's not West Midlands, it's East Midlands. There we go, you see. Now I got it again. Yeah. Oh dear. Gabriel, yes, exactly. East Midlands, thank you. Yeah, thanks for reminding me, yeah. It's like, you know, one of those little airports that that don't have much traffic. But yeah, you can have that as, you know, your alternate airport. Bob, you wrote you're deleting your old hard drive. But missing something to save before deleting it. Oh god. Well, the best thing would be to really try to save as much as you can on a separate hard drive. If you would fly cargo often, you would know. Yeah, probably. Then I would know East Midlands better. Yeah. I know, Rob. No, Rob. So, yeah, I'm just pulling one of our moderators, Lindley. I'm just pulling his leg because he's very fond of East Midlands. So whenever I fly over East Midlands here, I'm like, oh, hang on, there was an airport here somewhere. Forgot its name. So that's Manchester. Oh, there he is. Look, we're flying right over it. Spot on. Oh dear. The beautiful British countryside. Lovely. Lovely, lovely. So where are we? We are now passing 25,000 feet. This is actually the tropopause layer. Now, if Microsoft does this correctly, theoretically, we should not really see a big decrease from now on regarding our outside air temperature, so the SAT. It will decrease by maybe 1 or 2 degrees, but not as much as going, you know, going and climbing up in altitude in the troposphere. So still minus 40. That's interesting. That's good. But I mean, yeah, 16 degrees warmer than standard atmospheric temperature. That looks a bit wrong to me, to be honest. But you see that? Yeah, it's not decreasing anymore in temperature. So at least that seems to be somewhat accurate. Well, we shall monitor that. Hey, Senor Ted Barker. Ted, are you available? Let's see. Are you available tomorrow evening, by any chance, Ted? Regarding a little 747 adventure. And we have to invite, or we'd appreciate Mark to come along as well, obviously. I need a first officer to shout at, and Mark's the perfect candidate for that, so... So East Midlands. Oh, is that the airport? Oh, look at that. Who would have thought? We actually have a view of East Midlands. Automarker, how are you doing? Nice, okay Ted. Fantastic. So we'll talk about the time later or tomorrow morning or something. Or the restored, yeah. Cricket pitch, yeah. Oh my god. Oh, look at that. There you go. Mark is happy. Look at that. East Midlands Airport. The 8th wonder of the world. Oh my god. Alright, when we reach cruising level, I'll go through the new briefing concept with you guys, give you an overview of what to expect. And Donington Park as well. Yeah, I have to admit, I am somewhat surprised to actually see that simulated correctly. So now we've, what, 7,000 feet higher, or 6,000, and we've dropped 2 degrees Celsius. So that's actually pretty correct. That is pretty neat. Yeah, so someone asked, so Don, I think you asked me earlier on, for me as a real-world pilot, what do I think of, you know, the FENIX add-on? So obviously I do enjoy flight simulators tremendously. So I've really followed the development for 30 years now. And and I also haven't had the privilege to be involved in the development to some degree with the FS Labs and also with the FENIX. For me, it's a fascination. It's a fascination that these simulators are getting, you know, closer and closer to the real aircraft. Of course, it's still a PC simulator, so of course you know, I personally feel as if I'm in a real aircraft. However, it has come to a point where I'm fascinated by it, and I'm actually enjoying flying these add-ons here in the simulator. So, you know, if that weren't the case, I would not be spending so much time with these. So definitely, you can say that, yeah, developments have come to a point where, yeah, we actually see quite a few real-world pilots now these days actually having, not in using flight simulators in their private time, but also, you know, actually streaming or making video content. And for me as a real-world pilot, I'm actually using the FS Labs, and I will be using the FENIX as well to practice for my half-yearly simulator check rides. I don't know. Yeah, it's definitely pulling some data from Meteor Blue.
Manchester traffic,
But
level 190.
I'm not sure how detailed that data is. I would be surprised if they are not actually doing a mix between the data that they're receiving and the simulation. 2,000 feet to go. I'm quickly going to show you the vertical profile. So here's Heathrow. So we climbed up, and you can see the tropopause drops down to about 25,000 feet. It then rises. As we get closer to Vagar, it rises up to about 30,000 feet. And the temperatures right now, yeah, minus 41, minus 43, top of climb here. And it's going to cool down. As the tropopause comes up, the temperature's going to cool down as well. So they should be rising to minus 40, going down to minus 48 by Bamra, for example. But that's cool. That's one of those cool things about these flight simulators. Yeah, so hopefully when the FENIX development team implements their own engine model, including things like fuel flow, etc., etc. So, you know, everything with EGT, so sort of temperatures, then yeah, thrust output. I don't know if that's going to be, you know, simulated so closely, but obviously today will be one of those cases where, as you climb up, and the tropopause being so low, you have the pressure dropping as you climb up, and that's counteracted to some degree by the drop in temperature. But that stops here at the tropopause layer. So as you go up from here, the engine performance reduces well, greater. So that's something interesting for the you know, performance values of the engine and the climb rates, etc. To optimum level, of course, as well. Outstar. TCAS to below. Right, so as the thrust is going to be reduced, we're going to see the same issue again, that fuel flow probably will be less than what you would expect. Although at the moment, well, that's pretty much normal fuel flow. Interesting. Yeah, so look how the fuel has reset itself now. So on the ground we had, what was it, minus 600 kilograms or something on the fuel prediction. Now we actually have, yeah, a lot more. Hey Krypton, nice to see you. How you doing? Cool. All right. So new briefing concept. They call them smarter briefings. Oh. Come on. There we go. So, smarter briefings. What's the purpose of briefings? So it should be a tool for threat and error management. So it's supposed to enhance safety and management of risks. It's supposed to identify deviations to the standard operating procedures. Bit typo there. And at the end of the briefing, all crew members should have the same mental model. And a briefing should not be used for repeating SOPs. So that's something that the new briefings or the new concepts really worked on. Because when we do our briefings, now I've noticed that several times over the last couple of years, that you just do your normal briefings and it's always like, you know, blah 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 blah. It's always the same, right? So give an example. Something I've never done is regarding engine failure after we won. If you watch some YouTube videos, you will actually hear some captains or some pilots actually go through the procedure for engine failure. And I always thought, well, why are they doing that? Because that is something that is supposed to be known. So, you know, that's an SOP. Why are they briefing, you know, an SOP to such extent? And the issue with that is the following. So the moment the captain does that briefing for the third time, I can guarantee you the first officer isn't listening anymore, because he's already heard it 3 times. And so that's the problem with these, you know, briefings that always quote the same things, always the same. And they looked at some incidents, some accidents, and they found the issue being that even though the crew briefed everything correctly, so there was absolutely no errors regarding departure route, regarding level of altitudes, regarding engine out procedures. They briefed that correctly. However, they ran into a different issue, and that was they failed to identify the threats for the approach or for the, you know, for the departure. We'll get to the threats later on, but let me just repeat that. So a briefing should not be used for repeating SOPs. Airbus fan, yeah, thank you much for, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I've noted that as well. So a briefing should be a complement to the SOPs, and it should be, so complement to the SOPs, and it should concentrate on more on the threats and on the error management. So what's going to change now? So first of all, before conducting a briefing, it is necessary for the pilot flying to complete all necessary preparation in the flight management guidance system according to the SOPs. The pilot monitoring must check all necessary entered data, including the cross-check of performance data. So when we prepare our aircraft, the pilot flying does what he always does. So he goes through the diff-rips model. He prepares everything. He sets the autopilot panel. He prepares the charts. And then he'll tell his pilot monitoring that he's finished with all the entries, please check them. So the pilot monitoring then checks all the data. So he checks the departure route, he checks the waypoints, he checks the altitudes, he checks the performance data, he checks the autopilot setup, etc., etc. So he checks everything. And that's it. Right? You do not brief the departure route anymore. That's part of new concept, for example. You do not go, we're going to fly the such and such departure via waypoints, Delta Foxtrot such and then Delta Foxtrot such and then Delta Foxtrot such at this speed, at this altitude, and then Delta Foxtrot. We don't do that anymore. So the briefing itself, so these items are not repeated anymore. So waypoint, speed restriction, performance values are not repeated anymore in the briefings. And then, before you do your briefing, make sure you set an environment with no distractions. And they're actually saying maybe you should actually not close the door completely on the ground, for example. But you should, well, close the door so to signal to the flight attendants that right now they should not disturb the flight crew. So that's the first thing. Make sure that you have set an environment. Where you don't get disturbed, so you don't have distractions. Good. So how does departure briefing then work with the new concept? Well, this is where it gets interesting. So what will happen then in the real cockpits is the following. The pilot monitoring doesn't have to be the first officer. It can be the captain. If the captain is pilot monitoring, it's the same principle. Hey, forward! Good evening. Greetings to Brazil. How are you doing? So that's a big change now, is that the pilot monitoring starts the briefing. So the pilot monitoring will state the takeoff runway, including intersections. He'll say the designator, the first cleared altitude, the safe altitudes, so MSA Mora, and how much extra fuel is on board, and how much time that is. So again, that's been done by the pilot monitoring. So for today, for example, he would have said, just give me a little excursion here. So he would have said, so we are expecting, or we are cleared 27 left, intersection November Bravo 3, Umlaut 1 Golf departure, first altitude is 6,000 feet, MSA 2,200, and the extra fuel is 600 kilograms, which is about 15 minutes time. So that's what the pilot monitoring will say. And that's all he's going to say to this. Then it's the turn of the pilot flying. The pilot flying will then say, right, hotspots are taxiway such and such, such and such. The stop margin for the RTO is 400 meters. And in case of engine failure after one, we climb straight out, acceleration 1,600 feet. Then get radar vectors, climb 3,000 for a landing on 27 right. And he also briefs any non-standard operations, like let's say the APU has a problem. So we'll say, right, we're going to start the engine number 2 with ground external power, or ground external air, etc., etc., or anything that is non-standard. They would brief right now. Then comes the interesting part. Then the word goes back to the pilot monitoring, and the pilot monitoring will then say what his opinion about threats is. So, can you imagine today, guys, with the departure out of Heathrow? Let me ask you then. Let's say you pilot monitoring. What threats did you see today for our departure out of Heathrow? Yeah, good luck, Bob. Yaroslav, you asked, could you break down the difference between the type of approaches, Cat 1, Cat 2, and requirements for Autoland? There's a lot of things that you need for all these different approach types, regarding approach lightings, regarding the airport capabilities, announcements for low-vis operations, aircraft systems. That will be way too much to talk about tonight right now. You know, safety areas and the airport and so on. It's just so much stuff there. Right, so good. So we're just seeing some good things. Yeah, showers. Yeah, Airbus fan. We had some hefty showers. We had some thunderstorms around the area. So that's definitely a threat. So what could be a threat with those? Wind shear. Right, heavy rain, contaminated runway. Yeah, possible contamination. Yeah. Right, congestion, traffic. Yes, a lot of traffic. That is definitely a threat. Right. So it will be pilot monitoring stating his mental picture regarding threats. And then the pilot flying will add his view if he has, you know, maybe some other threats he thinks about and he sees. And here comes the important thing now. Yeah, runway incursions, hotspots, Voyager, exactly. And now comes the most important thing, really. The threat mitigation. So, now that you have talked about the threats, well, what do we do about them? How do we mitigate those? I.e., how do we reduce that risk from those threats? So let me ask you, what about lots of traffic on the airport, for example, lots of vehicles? What would be a mitigation to that threat? What could you do on the ground? Hey, Flight Simulator. Yes, I've already prepared a flight from Lima to... Is it called Cusco? So it's a high altitude airport. Yeah, so... Carefully, because it's been foggy. Okay, interesting. That's weird. Yeah, that's an issue sometimes. And this one is actually... That's wrong. That's wrong... Yeah, they are on that. Right, so one mitigation for me. So if I think about lots of traffic on the airport, well, I would say taxi slowly. One thing, taxi slowly. Second thing, keep your eyes outside. Try to minimize your time inside the flight deck. So maybe let's read the checklist when the parking brake is actually set. So the aircraft has stopped, right? That would be a way to mitigate, you know, the risk of colliding with ground vehicles, other aircraft, for example, and or maybe actually missing some stop points, right? That would be one mitigation. What about thunderstorms? So wind shear. P3 Jumbo Jet. For some reason, can't accurate. Yeah. So, yeah. Sorry that couldn't help you. P3 Jumbo Jet. Yeah. You take care too. Yep. To be honest, on the ground, we don't use that on the ground. Well, we do use it, but it's not. So we don't look through it really. So we would use it to. So I would have it up here, for example. But whenever I monitor anything outside, I don't have the sunscreen in the way. Yeah. Take more fuel. Yeah. Exactly. Weather radar on. Yes. Weather radar on. Predictive wind shear system on. And think about what you have. Do we have, predictive wind shear, which normally you have? What will be the messages maybe that we anticipate? Pilot reports, yeah. Exactly. So you get the point, right? So that's the thing. So the concentration goes away from briefing SOPs and briefing things you've already checked twice, and actually concentrating your briefing on the threats and threat mitigation. So with that miscellaneous, so for example, here's special supplementary ops, so the ones I've just mentioned regarding anything with the systems not being normal MEL items, etc. Yeah, and the same concept is then available for the arrival briefing. And so pilot monitoring starts again. So once everything has been set, so first of all, of course, you do all the preparations. You get the charts out, you look at the weather, you enter all the data here into the MCDU, you set the auto brakes, do the RATNAV, etc., etc. So everything's entered, you check the arrival routing, and then you tell your pilot monitoring, hey, I finished all the preparations, please check them. Your pilot monitoring checks everything and then says, all right, checked. I don't see any issues. And then you do your briefing. So I would ask my pilot monitoring, so go ahead with the briefing, with the arrival brief. Right, so he would say, or she would say, we're expecting this arrival, so I don't know, the KRX 3 Delta, for example, the sector altitude is 4,300 in the north, 3,500 in the south. We're expecting an ILS approach, 25 right, Zulu, the minimum is 560 feet. Go around, blah, 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 and we still have 800 kilograms extra fuel, which is about 20 minutes flight time. And that's all the pilot monitoring briefs. Right, then the pilot flying briefs. Right, so I'm going to use some flight directors. So we have approach mode. Expect to see Cat 3 dual in auto flight, or once I go manual, Cat 1. The landing flap setting is going to be flaps full. Stop margin we've worked out as 600 meters. I'll use idle reverse thrust. Auto brakes will be used. They're going to be low. I'm going to expect to exit via Papa such and such. The hotspots for taxiing are there and there. Special operations, well, anything regarding, I don't know, well, system related, I guess. Maybe wind shear expected, and the non-standard operations. Yeah, anything with abnormals, for example, let's say hydraulic failures, flap failures, that sort of thing. Anything with abnormal would be already put in here in that briefing. So then again, the pilot monitoring goes and quotes his view on the threats for the approach. But once he or she has done that, the pilot flying will do the same. Right? And then again, you talk about the threat mitigation. So for the approach, let's see, what guys do you think could be a threat for the approach? Interested to see what your views are. What could be threats? Let's take Vagar, for example, today, guys. Let's do that. Let's take Vagar for the approach today. What threats do you guys see today? Let me just open the chart for you guys. Yeah, exactly, Mark. Exactly. That's the idea behind it. Yeah. And it actually involves the pilot monitoring. Yeah, terrain is definitely something today, Airbus fan. Absolutely. So we did localize approach. So that's what we're doing today. So we're arriving via Mike Yankee. That's the approach. I will give you as well the ground chart. Look at that. It even gives you a chart here. Wind, weather, turbulence conditions. There's a whole page on that. Right, runway length. Available for 12 would be full, for 30 it would actually be less. So you can see you're already seeing lots and lots of threats, don't we? Yeah, exactly. So heavy winds, turbulence. Yeah, wind shift. So I guess so terrain, absolutely, yeah. You can see the way the terrain is surrounding the airport. What else do you see, guys? I see lots of things here. I see lots of threats. Yeah, P3 jumbo jets are crew fatigue. I'll get to that in a minute. Let's just concentrate on the airport itself now, on the approach. What do you guys see as risks or threats? Hey, localizer offset. Yes, exactly. Huge offset. Look, that's inbound course 111. And the runway has a heading of 125. That's 14 degrees offset. Ah, hey. Excellent. Nico, perfect. Look at that. Another threat. 30 meters. Yes, Mark. GG's. So not only a short runway with little buffer, but also, look at that. 30-meter runway. So a more complicated go-around missed approach procedure. Yeah. Low visibility, I'm not sure. Let me check the weather right now. Hold on. So currently the weather is no good. It's more than 10 kilometers right now, scattered 5,000 feet. So visibility is not the issue today. Neither is wind. The wind today is 120 at 7. That's pretty much head on, only 7 knots. So neither the wind nor the visibility, and I don't think we're going to have much turbulence today. Right, steep profile. Yeah. That profile is going to be steeper than normal. I'm a bit surprised. It doesn't tell you the profile here. Unless I just don't see it right now. Offset. Oh, there says 40 degrees offset. Where's my profile? It doesn't say it. Backtrack required. Yeah, Rob. Hump in the runway. Yeah, true. Uneven runway. Yeah. Steep cliffs in front and behind of the runway. NDB, no, because we have very accurate equipment on board regarding GPS update and so on. I don't see that really as a threat. Danny, well, that's more the question regarding Plan B, but that's something you decide on before you start the approach. So, for example, right now, what we would do, we would already check the weather again. Actually, we can do that here. We're just talking about the threats for the approach, only the threats, nothing else. They normally do RMP approaches, Roger. Let's have a look what we have. So we have an RNF RP Whiskey for runway 12. Wow, that looks interesting. That actually looks like a really cool approach. I'm intrigued. Yeah, maybe today it's a day for RMP approaches. So let's try that one. Let's have a look at this one. Victor. So authorization required, radius fix required, we have that. 250 below. Not allowed below minus 10 degrees Celsius, okay. The recommended wind surface direction 150 to 20. Okay, with aircraft wingspan less than 40 meters, well, we have that. What about whiskey? What else? Yeah, let's do it, right? Also again, authorization required, radius fix required, 250, not allowed below minus 10. Ah, there we go. So those approaches, interesting. So those approaches, whiskey and here's Victor, they actually are chosen depending on the wind direction. So for our wind direction 120, it will be actually be the whiskey approach. That's interesting. Okay, let's try this one then. All right. So what's this? Can we highlight this? Lol. So that's for the wind. Okay. Yeah. Cool. How cool is that? All right. So we've decided on the whiskey approach. 1-2. Where did you see that procedure golf? So that's going to be uncontrolled airspace. Transition to missed approach. Run RMP for lateral guides must not be initiated prior to the long track position of the decision height. All right, that's fine. No low-vis procedure, no. So, well, I mean, for the 3-0 approach, you do have an ILS. So ILS gives you a Cat 1 only, though. So no, there is no Cat 2 or Cat 3 approaches. The reason being is that obviously it's offset, the runway is short, yeah, Paul Casse, we just realized that. Yeah. Thank you. Well, then fly the localizer approach, Nico. Good. So we decided on the whiskey approach. Right. Regarding threats, then. Right. Let me go through the list. It's a huge list regarding threats. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different categories, including weather, airport, aircraft, ATC, environment, crew, terrain, and operations. These are all possible threats when it comes to departures and arrivals. And so from this list, right, depending on your experience, etc., you then go and pick the main threats for that approach or for that departure, for the airport. And aircraft, obviously, MEL items, any aircraft defects, supplementary procedures, right? Anything that's, that could be a threat. Weather, wind shear, convective weather, cold weather, precipitation, unreliable weather reports, threats for weather. Airport, congestion, construction, hotspots, infrastructure, runway condition. ATC, restrictions, language, phraseology, short-term changes of clearances, similar call signs. That's interesting, isn't it? Yeah, similar call signs can be a threat. I've actually had that issue at Paris once, where that almost led to someone rejecting the takeoff because of a misunderstanding from the call signs. Operations, right, schedule pressure. that is a threat. Captains quite often have that issue where they are, you know, maybe too goal orientated. Give you an example. It's maybe the last flight of the day and you're tired, so yeah, you are fatigued, and then you have an approach which is challenging, and you know that if you have to divert, you're going to be stuck at your alternate airport with the passengers. So obviously there's a lot of pressure to make that approach work and make that landing work. So that then bears the risk of you actually accepting a unstable approach, right? So that's a threat, and a good pilot would actually address that. And you know, a good captain, for example, would say, "Right, I see a threat being the schedule pressure. So the threat for me is that I may be goal orientated and I may be focused too much on that. So your duty as pilot monitoring will be to make sure that we stick to all the SOPs and all the limitations, and if I don't correct them, if there's anything going outside of the norm and I don't correct it, it's your duty to call go around. And if I don't perform the go around, it's your duty to take over the aircraft and perform the go around. So that will be a mitigation of that threat, right? By me briefing that to the pilot monitoring, especially the first officer, kind of, you know, making sure that he understands the importance of his role as a pilot monitoring, and to not allow me to become too focused. Hey Bruno, how you doing? Bruno, here's a question for you. Do you know, if you go to your flight plan page, well actually now we've got, actually at 78 miles. So, distance. So this distance counts down. This one counts down, obviously, but that value there, so that does not count down. Does that count down the real aircraft? I mean, in the real FMS? On the two-way point? I don't actually know, to be honest. I've not watched that on the I always watch, if anything, I'll look at the nav display. I never look at the FMS. Because it doesn't count down. It only shows you the complete track mileage from that waypoint to the next waypoint there. And apparently the FS Labs does count that down. Alright, so threats. Let's go back to the threats. So for today, let's go through the approach today, guys. So aircraft, currently there is no threats. There's no MEL items. Aircraft is fine. I don't see any supplement procedures apart from the RMP procedure. Offset maybe, but that's maybe under airports, for example, regarding infrastructure. Or maybe the... no, that's fine. So weather, also, I don't see many threats regarding weather. The fly-by-wire counts it down. Hey, Nico, that's good feedback. So the fly-by-wire counts it down as well. Ha, time to dig, Bruno. GG. Yeah, so maybe, so my answer was, Bruno, maybe that has to do with the software generation the FENIX simulates. Because we do know that's a bit of older software, isn't it? So maybe that's the reason. Or it's a bug, one of those two. Good, what else do we have? Crew fatigue, no. Low experience? Well, yeah, I mean, Vagar, well, I've been to Vagar a couple of times in the sim, but not in real life. Complacency? Today? No, not really. Distraction? No. We're not training, and we don't have a non-standard crew complement. Well, so there's no threats there. Terrain, yeah, there we go. High terrain, that's a threat. Unfamiliar environment. So if there's an airport you're flying to for the first time, then that's definitely unfamiliar environment. That is a threat. That's something you should address. and think about how you can mitigate that. Complex visual approaches, well, yeah. So, or maybe, you know, more complex approaches today. Airport, ATC, well, I don't think we have ATC online. So there we go. Good. So actually, you guys did a really good job in listing these threats that we have today. The community, yeah, that's true, Voyager. I correct that. Yeah. So threats, community, chat. You guys are a threat to me. Right. How close to real life is the flight performance of the FENIX? No, so yeah, the problem is you have to understand that the FENIX flight model is limited currently greatly by Microsoft Flight Sim. So unfortunately, it's not so easy to completely implement your own external flight model and force that onto the Microsoft flight model. There are limitations to that, and that's where you see the differences in the sim here. So no, it's not accurate at the moment. No. Would you have prepared a lot of these risks well before flight? Well, Mark, yes. So of course, a mitigation to some of these threats is preparation. So you would, you know, carefully study all the documents. You would read through all of the infos. So here we have some limited infos, unfortunately, compared to real world documents. So in connection with strong southwesterly winds and so on, there's something. Runway groove, PARP, sufficient terrain clearance only when close to localizer course. Makes sense. Got 3 flashing lights before thresh and beginning of high approach intensity approach light system. So flashing lights available normally. No ceiling required for aircraft able to operate above 4.8% takeoff kilometers, blah blah blah. So, yeah, wind measurements, turbulence, etc., etc. That's all there. Helicopter minimums. Interesting. Good. Yeah, so again, one of the big threats is terrain today. Short runway, 30-meter wide runways, meaning hard landing potential. Also a sloped runway, again, could lead to longer flare or maybe a harder landing. Not much buffer to the max landing or the available landing distance. That's a threat. Yeah, interesting for quite some time. Normally when you go to Vagar, the weather usually is really bad. But today I can't really make much or see much negatives from the weather report. So Vagar, again, 120 at 7, scat at 5,000, good visibility, 11 degrees, QNH 1019. And even at the mountaintop skeet, it's 140 at 8, so also not much wind up there. The alternate weather right now, light rain, UTAF. What's the forecast? So that's our forecast, rain showers. But nothing too major, so that's a good alternate airport. So that's valid. Yeah, don't go for greaser, no. So today is definitely not the day to try a greaser, no. Of course, you don't want to slam it into the ground, but yeah, a nice positive touchdown in the touchdown zone is definitely something to aim for today. Let's go and get the arrival performance. Although, how much more time do we have? So currently expecting landing about 20 UTC. It's about 45 minutes, not that much longer. That's not that much longer. 45 minutes. Nice. Summer's day in Torso. Lovely. So let's apply the METAR. We are going to expect a landing. Well, it doesn't rain. So actually, although, let me just calculate with runway wet. So the coefficient 5 RW's YCC 5 means wet runway. Landing weight. So let's have a look. So we've currently got 64.4. That's pretty heavy actually. And we're about to burn another ton. So 63.5 tons is going to be expected landing weight. Obviously we're going to use let's try medium auto brake, but I fear that we may need max manual. Manual landing flat 4. We'll use max reverse or thrust off. And that's done. Max reverse, manual landing. Oh, runway. Runway is going to be 12. There we go. So now we get the landing distance. Right, so, well, as a matter of fact, with auto brake medium, we require a landing distance of 1429 with the factor of 15% on top of that. That's going to be 1,643 meters. And we have available 1,800. So that's about 150 meters buffer. So that will give us, like, 2 seconds of flare time as well. But yeah, we shouldn't be flaring for too long. Let's put it this way. Yeah, 64.5. Yeah, that's the max structural landing weight. Yeah. Hey, Arco, how are you doing? Oh, greetings to you to USA, St. Louis. Nice, Arco. Hope you're doing good. Greetings to the US, and yeah, thank you so much. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, !ask. Then your question is stored, and I will try to answer them. Good. So let's see what else we need regarding arrival briefing. So identifying the threats, obviously, pilot monitoring first, then the pilot flying. And then the threat mitigation. What can we do to counter those threats? And then miscellaneous, anything else? So for me, okay, let me ask you guys, regarding today, the threat being a complicated approach procedure, let's start off with that. How would we mitigate that threat? So what can we do to mitigate the threat of a complicated approach procedure? Is there anything that we can do? Hey, Frogbound Turtle, how you doing? Fogbound Turtle, hello. Yeah, so apparently some people have an issue, and it seems to be with the better pushback. So better two-bar pushback, not better. Two-bar pushback app. That should be taken out right now, because that's since the latest SU update, SU9, that has been causing issues. Not just the FENIX, but also other add-ons as well. So no, personally, I've not noticed any FPS drops over time. But yeah. Okay, good briefing, yeah. Yeah, I would say that's one way to mitigate some of the threats. Take your time, go through it very thoroughly. Look at your minimum altitudes. Go to alternate. Right. Yeah. Good. No, of course not. Voyager, GG's, exactly. Stabilize the aircraft as early as possible. Yes, that's one way of mitigating some threats. So prepare. Think about your gates. Think about where you would slow down the aircraft, where you would start configuring the aircraft, where you think would be a good time to be at final approach speed, so that you could solely concentrate on the path. Exactly. So that's what we do. Yeah. Early configuration. Make sure that you take your time. Take out the the time pressure. Take out the momentum. Arco, well, I'm glad you're enjoying the FENIX, and I know that behind the scenes, the development team is concentrating on improving, trying to fix the issues. So one of the big issues was performance with some people, and then of course the bugs that a lot of people have found. But they have a great concept. So they've got some great plans for the future regarding how to go about testing, getting more organized when it comes to testing. So we have a wider range. Oh, hello. Who are we contacting? Oh, Iceland, 19.7. And we're going to use SEPA DLC as well. Cool. We are on 1. Reykjavik Control, good evening from Fair Airlines 711, maintaining level 360.
Airline 711, Reykjavik Control, good evening. Report your requested back number for flight level. Record your requested flight. Report your requested MAC number and flight level for oceanic clearance.
We are requesting Mach 0.78 and flight level 360, Fairline 711.
Fairline 711, you are clear to Vagar, Mach decimal 78, flight level 360 and runway 12 prepared.
There's copied runway 12 in Vagar, and we're clear to Vagar, maintaining Mach 0.78 and flight level 360, Fairline 711.
Fairline 711, feedback is correct. Return to your com, I'll send you another contact once you get it.
Fairline 711, roger.
Making the control easy, 180.
So, 78, I'm going to select that, so it keep that exactly.
Get I-4 clearance to Manchester.
EC 1806, yeah, I think Hoppy is having some issues. I'm pretty sure the FENIX broke the entire network. Your safe destination, Manchester, by the office.
So let me try and log in first of all.
Flight level initially.
So connection,
29
notification, Bravo India,
and set for 3, 2.
Let's see if that works.
2,
2. Cleared to Manchester by the office.
Nico, no, I've not really monitored that.
01. I'm going to
So,
9,000.
unfortunately not.
Expect, actually, we need to change our cruise, but then the squawk is 3222. And for the cruise, could get 350.
Have a look at Sim Toolkit Pro here. So, we're coming up Barbara.
EC 1806, AFM, expect flight level 350, and report your...
Oh, Bamra, not bad. There's Bamra. And so for the crossing, so we are entering Reykjavik from Pemos. So Pemos is our entry point, and so strictly speaking, we have to maintain Mach 0.78 and level 360 from that point onwards.
And the initial time flight level 29.
So we're going to request the approach later on with him.
Yes, 3222, and then initial time will
Hey,
be
Captain Chaos.
290.
Regard distance thing on the flight web page, it does count down in IRL. Okay. And if we, okay, so maybe we can put that forward. Oh, Bruno, knowing you, you may have already bugged that. One more thing, guys. So regarding the briefing concept, there's another thing, the cruise briefing and the debriefing. So cruise briefing would be high terrain, for example, anything noteworthy like the North Atlantic contingencies, weather avoidance, etc., etc. Again, you know, addressing threats and its mitigations. That's the real thing, really, you want to look at. Interesting as well, after the flight, you should be thinking about debriefing. So short debriefing. Were the threats identified correctly? Were any missed? Did the threat mitigation work as expected? And is there anything else that should be done differently the next time? Okay, Bruno. GG's, thank you.
Lufthansa 801 is all cleared Keflavik and landing runway 01 via the
regarding Keflavik, I'm now curious. What's Keflavik weather at the moment? I'll just get that.
Lufthansa 801 is cleared to Keflavik. Runway 01 via Nashville for an arrival.
Lufthansa 801, feedback is correct. Proceed direct Dexon, report verification.
Direct to Dexon, we report for descent, Lufthansa 801.
Okay, I can show that, Telex. Due to stomach sickness from onboard salad, divert to... Nice try, no. Yeah, so Mark, Oceanic would be, you know, any contingency procedures, you know, if you are on the track system, for example. Well, at the moment, it doesn't seem like it's very foggy at Keflavik. So got 10 kilometers, broken 800. It's a lower ceiling, but not really low vis ops, no. That's normal Cat 1 weather, so that's not too exciting. Delay me never. Okay, let's prepare. We're already coming up to the descent point here, it seems. Since we are doing a non-precision approach, let's put Vagar 1-2 in here, so we have a distance. And on the secondary flight plan, what our program now is the approach. RMP Whiskey. There it is. Arnaf 1-2. An approach via. Well, I think a good point would be we're coming more from this side. So Robur is, I think, the better point to start the approach from. So let's do Robur. And also on the secondary flight plan, I'm going to put performance data. So currently we are having at 10 degrees, the wind 110 at 3, and the QNH is 1019. Minimums for the RMP approach. Let's check. So, wow, that's RMP 0.1. Oof. So that's that really needs an accurate, a great accuracy, and I assume that has to do with the final approach track in the valley there. You just do not have 0.3 mile buffer left and right. That's why it has to have 0.1. And the minimum will be 600 feet. There we go. So currently we have the localizer 1-2 program.
Wing 47 Delta, Reykjavik.
Hearing 47 Delta, just switched to you.
Wing 47 Delta on activate control. Good evening. Identify.
So expect that to become active at PEMOS, not prior, because we're not yet in the Iceland.
Yes, we are ready for descent during 47 Delta.
During 47 Delta, descend initially flight level 200. The wind at Vagar, 120 degrees at 7 knots. Runway 12 is preferred. And just confirm what approach we'll be doing today, sir.
Yeah, okay, so he's...
We will start with descending to flight level 200, runway 12 in Vagar, and we will try the localized approach.
Cap Brudo, so you speak at CBTC, do you have any fancy menus in real life with a lat request, vertical request? Well, I can give you some details offline, Bruno. Ah, there we go, now log on is accepted. Perfect. We are CPDLC. Yeah, we do have some requests. Now I don't know all of them by heart, but I can send you the software we have. Could you show constant Mach, or is the leg too short to use
Easy 1806 ready for taxi.
Right, so
Easy 1806 taxi, holding point runway 01 via November and Echo cross runway 10.
November Echo cross 10, easy 1806.
Yeah. So, to be honest, Simone, that's a very good point. I actually, that didn't work in the FS Labs. I'm actually surprised. Yeah, that's in there. I never tried that. But yes, so you are correct. You could use...
can you repeat the waypoint for 47 Delta?
The constant Mach start waypoint to the end waypoint. You could use... Of course, some different waypoints. You could use Mike Yankee, but that wouldn't make sense. So it would make sense.
Mike Yankee, direct to Mike Yankee for your rings for simulator.
From there, and now we could go manage speed, and it will maintain exactly Mach 0.78. But the top descent is already coming up, so that wouldn't work. But yeah, you're right. You can actually use that here. That's really cool. GG's. Bob, GG's. All right. I see you keep a very short leash in your office. GG's. And Reykjavik Control from Fair Alliance 711. We are estimating PEMOS at 1934, level 360, Mach 0.78.
Fair Alliance 711. Reykjavik Control, good evening. Identified. Report ready to descend.
That's copied. Request descent now, please, and we would request the RMP Whiskey 12 in Vagar, please.
Airline 711, Roger, you are cleared flight level 200 and proceed direct to Robur.
Fairline 711 is cleared descend level 200 and present positioned direct to Robur. Thank you. So, what we're going to do now is we're going to go to secondary flight plan, activate, and go direct to Robur. And we're going to start a descend here by going manage descend. So we've got thrust idle descend out blue 200. So remaining track distance 139 miles, so that should be fine. Now we do have to check the routing, right? That we still need to do. Just make sure that we can fly the approach into Vagar. And let me do it this way. Sim Toolkit Pro. So we're going to start out at Robur and 4,000 feet lowest. We don't have to be at 4,000. It's the lowest. Then we go Victor Golf 818. Lowest is 4,000. Then again 814. Lowest 4,000. Then we go to initial fix Victor Golf 812. Lowest 4,000. Oh no, sorry, at mandatory. Here we've got to be at 4,000 feet. Correct.
Hearing 47 Delta, what about my speed?
Then it says too steep path, so it's worried about the descent path. That's already an indication that we need to make sure that we have some drag out. So then we go to Victor Golf
100, speed at my discretion.
810.
47 Delta.
Lowest is 2,000, and then we get to Victor Golf 806, and that's the final approach point. So here we have to have 2,000 feet, and then we go to Victor Golf 804, crossing 650 feet. That's correct. Then we go to 807, 540 feet. That's correct, and we have the runway, which is 50 feet above the elevation, which is 314 feet. That's all correctly programmed. Then we go and check the missed approach. Victor Golf 805, then 803 Magni. That's there into the holding at 4,000 feet. All correctly programmed. So for the minimums, let's check. Has it taken over the minimums? It has. So as I activated the secondary flight plan, it has already inserted the data that I previously inserted into the box. So that's really convenient. That really saves some time. Now RatNav, I'm going to leave it clean because we are flying an RMP approach. The only thing we need to monitor later on is obviously the required accuracy. So we have to have 0.1. Normally it's from the final approach point, unless it says something else.
Easy 1806, ready for departure, runway 01.
I don't see anything
Easy 1806, wind 30 degrees behind and out, 1, clear takeoff.
Runway 1, clear for takeoff, easy 1806.
Right, cool. Good questions. Yeah, so Simone, definitely. That was definitely too short, that leg there, right? But you are correct. That's something I need to remember when we fly, let's say, to Keflavik at some point, maybe. So where we have a longer distance and where the constant Mach function actually does make sense, yeah. Hey, King Creed, how are you doing? Sapphire, the wind data in the performance page always pre-filled. Yeah, I know. No, in real life, no. Not in our box, it doesn't, no. It doesn't pre-file or pre-fill the wind data. No, it doesn't do that. Not for us. Maybe there is an operator out there where it does do it, but not for us. Right, so let's have a look. We have 70 miles. That's about 21,000 feet to go. Do you know if the vertical deviation on the progress page has single digit? Oh, good question, Bruno. Let me just check. Trying to remember. Progress. No, I think that has exact values. Oh, hang on. Oh, has it? Oh, that's a good question, Bruno. Hang on. It's weird how often I've looked at that in the real aircraft. But you know what? I just cannot 100% say if it's, you know, rounded to the 10 feet or if it's actually single digits. And I have to be honest, that looks a bit weird. I think it's rounded up or down to the next 10 feet.
EC1806 identified passing free. Oh,
Yeah, I think I would say from my memory it's 10 feet, not 5, not 1, but 10. But that's something I would need to check in the real aircraft at some point. Yeah, I think 10. I'm pretty certain it's 10 feet, not like this now. Lord, yeah, I know, right? It's so weird sometimes.
Eurowings 47 Delta, further descent at your own discretion. Report passing 7,000 feet.
Down on my own discretion, reporting 7,000 feet, Eurowings 47 Delta.
Eurowings 47 Delta, Vagar QNH 1019.
So, in order to accommodate for our threat mitigation,
1019 QNH, Eurowings 47
I am going to aim for at least config 3 gear down on that turn. Although how many miles is that? Well, it doesn't matter. So the final descent is 4 miles. That's 5 miles. That's about 10 miles then from there.
Fairline 71, correction to slow.
So I think, yeah, it's a good idea. Maybe config 3 or config 2 but gear down, so that we can descend on that profile. We have to lose about 1,500 feet in 4 miles. That's not too steep, actually. Oh, there we go. Descend flight level 100. Received. That's cool. I love that secret DLC function.
Welcome aboard the
Hey.
Captain Black Box YouTube channel subscriber experience.
That's really kind.
Could
Oh,
new
hang
subscribers
on.
please
No, I
make
didn't say
their way
that,
to the
thank
first class cabin where complimentary drinks, snacks and premium flight entertainment will be served. Thank you.
A big thank you to Arriba Peru. Thank you so much for becoming a member. Thanks for the support. And I am sure you are also excited about our approach on the second flight. Another approach which is going to be interesting because of the high altitude. A really interesting RMP procedure. So again, lots of stuff to talk about, especially with regards to high altitude landing, etc., etc. So yeah, thanks so much. Greetings to Peru. Just looking at that chart, that's 23 miles, so we can lose at least like 7,000 feet. Yeah, so that's why the FMS is calculated to cross that point at around 12,000 feet on a normal descent path. Yeah, there we go. 115 is what it's calculating at right now. RTA, what? Later on, the second flight, you mean? Or... So the second flight will take about an hour flight time. I hope so, Airbus fan. I hope so. Nice pronunciation. Hey, Emiliano, how are you doing? Okay, so now I get it. Sorry, I thought you meant the second flight. Hold on, no, the RTA here. So required time at. That is something that was implemented or used. They tried to use it. To kind of, help with the traffic flow at these high or really busy. Oh, look at that! These really busy airports. Yeah, so you would put in RTA, let's say the approach fix for a airport, and you would then, especially if the flight's a longer flight time, then you can actually have the FMS work out your cruising speed if it's within a certain range, obviously, so that you can reach that waypoint at that desired time. But all the tests that they've done, at some point
Hearing 47 Delta, passing 7,000 feet.
They got rid of it because it just would not work.
Your wings 47 Delta, roger.
As advertised.
Radar service is terminated. Expect flight information service.
We'll go expecting flight information service. Thank you, your wings 47 Delta.
Your wings 47 Delta will report to Vagar.
Juzo, you need to Hoppy network. So there's a website, Hoppy, Hoppie.
Clouds scattered at 5 temperature 1 Sido.
You need to get a logon code there and put that logon code into the FENIX app. And then you can use the ARCAR system.
We'll go, thank you, hearing 47 Delta.
Alright, let's get everybody strapped in. Remaining flight time is about 15 minutes. Whoop. Beauty.
Going 47 Delta, report your distance in Newcastle, please.
Oh god, for the RTA. The things Bruno knows. Blimey.
Distance is 18 nautical miles to Myrkonys for your ring 47 Delta.
I say again.
17 nautical miles now for your ring 47 Delta.
Oh, there's clouds.
Your wings 47 Delta, thank you very much, and report overhead.
Let's get a quick weather update here, shall we?
Okay.
Oh, landing performance. Oh no, we did the landing performance. Disregard. Right, let's reload that. That's a TAF. Let's look at the METAR. There we go. So right now we've got 10 at 310 degrees 1019. So we still have that. Good. We're approaching Robur.
Airline 711, CBDLC service terminated. Descend at your own discretion. Report passing 7,000 feet.
Let's copy it. CBDC has terminated, and we'll call you passing 7,000 feet. Airline 711.
Airline 711, QNH, Vagar 1019.
1019 QNH, thank you. Airline 711. So, there we go. We're logged off. There we go. So we're clear for the approach, and so I am going to enter the final approach point altitude, which is 2,000 feet. So that goes 2,000, and so we've got out magenta 40 at the moment. Transition level is 7.5. Good. So we are flying the RMP Whiskey 12. The minimum is 600 feet. Check the approach path, misapproach path.
And this is your ring 47 Delta. Can we get radar vectors, please, because our navigation system is somehow bugged for this approach.
Unfortunately, no radar service.
Your ring 47 Delta, in real life Vagar doesn't have any radar, but since I'm right-click control, I can cheat a little bit. Turn left heading 280.
Left 280. Or otherwise, I can navigate for myself. It's no problem. If it's okay. Your ring 47 Delta.
Do your own game and report when fully established.
Okay, I will report when fully established. Thank you for your ring 47 Delta.
Excellent. Good. Okay, so misapproach goes to 4,000 feet. And the threat, obviously, short runway, 30 meters wide. We have about 200 meters buffer, 150, 200 meters buffer to max landing distance, through the landing distance available. So I try not to flare for too long. Any flare longer than 3 seconds means a go around. Regarding the fuel, we have, let's see, currently 5.6 and min diversion is 3.6. So we actually have fuel for a second approach. And then the second approach will go from Magni. And again, we'll do that RMP Whiskey. So yeah, we have fuel for second approach before we need to consider diverting. RTA is really rarely used, Airbus fan, yes. I have never used it in a 320. Alright, let's check the progress. Now we need 1 mile accuracy. We are in the approach, hence 1 mile, and one from the final push point onwards, we would need 0.1. Wow, today we've got lots of bots. Right, pang. Gone. So, lights on. Seatbelts are on already, that's fantastic. GPS primary, let's check GPS primary high on both sides. Checked. That looks beautiful. And we're in real time. Can you imagine that? There's the airport. So right now, it's still really light. I'm going to be really, really interested to see what happens mid-June when I fly to Keflavik. How light it's, because it's going to be a night flight for us. So I wonder how dark it actually gets. Yeah, Lucas, yeah, it's just my mouse clicks sometimes. When I misclick something, then... Cool. That looks very nice. We have a total of 30 miles. Right, I'm going to start select speed here, 240. I just want to make sure that...
Coming 47 Delta, have an aircraft coming in behind you, so if you could keep up your speed there on the approach. The wind now 117 degrees, 3 knots.
Now I'll just slow down here.
Roger, we will increase our speed. We are... yeah, okay, during 47 Delta, we will keep 175 now.
Roger, just keep up your speed a little bit on the local.
And Fairland 711 is starting to slow down now.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, I need to look into that, Danny. Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah. So subscribers only chat.
Stabilizer motion.
Yeah, maybe that's a good idea, Danny. Yeah. I may
during 47 Delta is now established on localizer.
I may try that on the next because subscribing doesn't cost anything.
Delta, continue approach. The wind 117 degrees, 3 knots.
Continue during 47 Delta.
And we're passing 6,600 Fairland 711. Oh, there he is.
711, roger. Traffic is a Eurowings A320 just reported established on the localizer for runway 12. The wind, correction, the weather at Vagar, QNH only required readback, time 1920 Zulu, wind 117 degrees 3 knots, visibility more than 10 kilometers, clouds scattered at 5,000, temperature plus 10, dew point plus 7 in QNH 1019.
Right, drop QNH 1019, and we have the other traffic on TCAS Fairline 711.
Airline 711.
Right, so we need to aim at 4,000 there. That's what we need to have. So with idle power, let me just reduce the speed a bit more. So again, I want to be config 2 gear down at that point there. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, the one click down. Yeah, yeah. I think that's a good idea.
Lufthansa 801 for descent.
Lufthansa 801, descent flight level 100.
Flight level 100 for Lufthansa 801.
Wings 47 Delta, there should be no conflict at this time. Wind 11 is 3 knots and the runway is 3.
Right. There's the airport behind us. Right.
Wonderful. So is it a landing clearance now for Wings 47 Delta?
We don't give landing clearance, it's an HS airport. The runway is 3 though, I can tell you that much. Good luck.
Thank you. I forgot that. Yes. Thank you.
Right. Flaps 2, speed is checked. Flaps 2. Yeah, so max speed 180 at that waypoint there. So let's slow down. Good. Progress 0.3. So let me enter 0.1 on both sides. Oh, there. It was already into that. Okay, that's fine. All right. So that's the accuracy now entered. And approach phase is now active. Going down to 160 knots. And gears coming down.
Airline 711, report final.
Fairline 7. One say again, please.
Report when final, please.
Copied 7-1. So, 4,000 checked. Oh, that's so beautiful. That's incredible. Right, so descending. Here's config 3. Speed's check, config 3. And let's go manage speed. Config full, speed is checked, config full. Right, beautiful. So the final approach button I can actually press now because we're inbound. Now we've got final approach. So let's see how this goes. We have some altitudes we can cross-check. Well, that's wrong, obviously. So we're at 4 miles from the runway 1800, 3 miles, 1430. So 4 miles, 1800, 3, 1430. There's the airport. Hey Pegasus, how you doing? Right, yeah, I'm it's checked, so I'm excited to see how that's going to be working.
Wings 47 Delta, welcome to Vagar. You nearly over on the runway there. Well done. On ground time.
So 4,000, missed approach set.
To stand of your own choice at your own discretion, and report vacated.
Right, he's backtracking now.
We'll report vacated.
Hurry up. Fairline 7-1 is now on final approach, and we are 5 miles from the threshold.
Airline 711, thank you. The wind 110 degrees at 3 knots, and the runway is occupied.
Okay, traffic is in sight. Fairline 7-1. Right, let's hope he clears the runway. Landing checklist. Economical landing, no blue. 4 miles. We should be at 1700. No, 1800. Sorry, 4 miles, 1800. That looks pretty good. Right on the money. So we should be on the correct path. There, he's expediting. And then 3 miles, 1340. Looking fine to me. Awesome. Nice. I'm going to already get the thrust manual.
Ring 47 Delta, runway vacated.
Okay. Airline 711, the wind now 140 degrees, 4 knots, one-way in straight.
That's copied. Fairline 711. Thank you. Manual flights. So, I am going to try to go visual here, and you can see that hump there on the runway.
1,000.
Is checked. Now, for some reason, I don't see any PARPI lights, which is somewhat concerning. So it's just about pure eyesight now.
100 above.
Yeah, runway's inside. Trying to get not too low.
Minimum.
Continue. Why is there no PARPI lights?
$400.
Right.
300.
Oh, there we go. Thank you. GG's on par.
200. 50. 40. 30. 20. Retard.
Come on, get it down. Thank you. We've got spoilers. Reverse green decel. You've got to be kidding me. Hey, MAN. Idle reverse, manual brakes. Hey.
Now that's how pros.
Man,
do it.
I am actually really pleased with that approach. But why did the PARPI lights
Now
come in?
that's how pros do it.
How come the PARPI lights came in so late? Like, seriously. Another thing I really love is the slope. God, that is fun.
711.
Stabilizer motion.
On ground time 58. Taxi to stand of your own choice. At your own discretion, report vacating the runway.
Fairland 711. Thank you. Backtracking, stand your own choice. I call when we have vacated the runway. Come on, turn. Turn. There we go. Thank you much. Yeah, I really enjoyed that
Good
approach.
night, Black Box.
Thank you so much, everyone. Lido Pilot, good night and all the best. I don't know, when are you going to stream Lido Pilot? And it's going to be on Twitch, correct? Yeah, that's MK Studios, yeah. How cool, the approach, I love the approach. And again, hats off to FENIX. It flew that RMP approach perfectly. No, this is MK Studios payware add-on. It flew that really well. The lateral guidance, the vertical guidance, hats off. We were right on the money. And that's something I have never tried yet before here. I never tried the RMP approach here into Vagar, and it did that really, really nice. Right, guys. Okay, so next stream, we are going to try that subscriber-only chat. Let's see if we get rid of those annoying bots. Yeah, I used a little bit of Saturday 4th. Okay. 4th of June. Okay, all the best, Lido Pilot. I'm not going to be in. I'm going to be on vacation, unfortunately, Lido Pilot.
Now that's how pros do it.
Thank you. Fairline 711, runway is vacated.
Fairline 711, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the service, Fairline 711.
Absolutely no worries.
Really cool. Thanks so much. That's really nice. So that was the Eurowings, and we've got Ryanair here as well. I'm pretty sure that's not static. Yeah, we've not been here for a while. I really love the scenery here. And this approach, man, gorgeous. How cool was that?
Ryanair 5525.
Oh, there we go.
Likely control, good evening. Report your requested MAC number and flight level for Asianic clearance, please.
Shall we park here? Hang on. Now let's go a bit more forward then. A bit more. Yeah, bots will subscribe. I don't think that, I hope they can't.
Thank you very much. You are cleared.
So let's park here.
Keflavik via the Mike Yankee.
Oh, Keflavik, nice.
Mykonos 20 departure, runway 12.
Good, APU is just running up. It's available.
After departure, flight planned route, expect flight level 38 Sido, Mach decimal 79er.
Nice. So then, let me give you a nice outside view here of your lovely aircraft. RNAV runway 30 is fun too. It has chicane on final, yeah. Well, the thing is though, 1-2 gives you that lovely, lovely flight through the valley there. And one thing I have to say. Oh, guys, you need to remind me, guys. I have activated replay mode, but you need to tell me next time, please, in the approach to actually start recording. It doesn't do that automatically. Yeah, so there we go. So I don't know. Now we got Parpy lights way out. I have a feeling that there was an issue with them spawning in. It's like loading in really late. I can't even remember. I was focused so much on the runway. Were the buildings here actually? On the first approach? I have a feeling it has to do with the loading of the autogen. Because that looks really pretty. Love it. Yeah, that's the thing. Good. So let me ask the experts here. What do I need to set? Is there anything we can do to have them loading quicker? Is that maybe objects level of detail or something? Yeah, but is there nothing that we can do to have them load in sooner? The buildings were there. Okay, Lena, thank you. Yeah, MAN, if you want to join, we're going to Peru now. We're going to fly from Lima to, is it Cusco? Don't know how to pronounce that. Is it terrain level detail? Okay. So if you dial up terrain level detail a bit, it will load in sooner. Is that it? The brake temperature of the Phoenix. Let's have a look. Yeah, they should be a bit higher right now. They should be hotter because we used auto brake medium. And we're pretty heavy. So I would expect them to be 300, 350 at least. Yeah. Good. Parking checklist. We've got the APU bleed on. Yellow ilic pump is off. Then we've got the engines off. Seatbelts off. Radar signature is off. Park brake is currently on. Right, so what we could do is get everything offloaded. Yeah, exactly. D-board. Don't touch the brake fan. Okay, okay, why? Is it, what, crash the desktop? I'm intrigued now. Bruno's like shouting at me, don't touch. You know with the children, Bruno. Yeah, I think my CPU should be able to handle it, Vincent. Yeah, okay, I'll try that for the next flight. So what happens if I do that? Oh dear. Okay, guys. Well, I'm going to prepare for the second flight. It should take about 5 minutes, so we'll stop the stream here. We'll restart a new stream. And it's going to be an interesting approach from pretty much sea level to 10,000 feet, over 10,000 feet landing altitude. Oh, okay. Right, yeah, okay, so that's cooling way too fast. Okay, I get it, yeah. Yeah. I see. Thank you much, Nico. Thanks for watching. Good night. Take care. Right, big thank you to Ariba Peru, to Tena, and to Rentasat for your resub, guys. Thank you so much for your memberships. All right, my dear moderators, thanks for looking over this. So next stream, I will make sure that we're going to use this as subscriber chat only. Okay, nothing will change. Anything? Don't change the LOD because the airport and all of that was already loaded. If you increase that value, nothing will change. Okay.
Now that's how pros do it.
Okay. All right. Let me leave that at, I don't know, 125 or something. Okay. They were building. Thanks, Airbus fan. Yeah, thanks for the confirmation. Okay, guys, give me 10 minutes. I'll be back on, or maybe 5. 5 minutes, I'll be back. See you soon.